This tutorial covers a basic introduction to the Arnold render engine. This will be directly applicable to our assignment with our boxes. It's a little bit different than what we're accustomed to. So in order to get this started, I'm going to put a ground plane in below my box, and I'll introduce a polygon plane. I'll just click and drag. And I'm going to put a material on that, so I'll right click and choose Assign New Material. I'm going to use a blend for this because blends are a little bit more reflective than the Arnold render surface. So this is something we can talk about at a later date, but I just want to set this up so we can look at the basics. Now, contrary to what we recall from our last class together in CGPH 20, where we were very guarded and cautious about introducing too much light, the Arnold render engine requires a lot of light. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you see the word Arnold at the top of your interface. If you don't, you would go to Window, and you would go to Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager, and down towards the very bottom of this daunting window, you'll see M2A.bundle. Just click on Loaded and Auto Load for that, and close the window out. Now we're going to start by introducing our light. I'll go to Create, Lights, and I'm going to choose a simple spotlight for this. I'll hit 4 on the keyboard, and I'm going to drag it up outside of the box, and I'll go to my attributes, and I guess I'll rotate it minus 90 in the X or Z axis so it's pointing down at my object. I'll just go in and direct it roughly where I'd like it to be. So I'll hit 6. I'll hit T to get the editing vertices. I'll take the target area, which is the one with just the blue box and the 3 vertices, and I'll hold down my V and I'll snap that to either the box or to the surface that I just introduced. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of adjustment on this, but I'm just going to show you the basics to set up. I'm going to the attributes for the light, and I'll go and bump up the penumbra angle to 10, and then I'm going to make the intensity 4,000. Now you'll notice that because we're using the Arnold renderer, there's also a tab for Arnold in the light itself. And what I'm going to do to watch this preview properly is I'm going to go up to the word Arnold, I'm going to click on it, I'm going to choose the Arnold render view, and it's going to introduce a window. Now whatever window you may see, you'll see there's another piece of geometry from a previous render. There's a red arrow or triangle, and when I click on that, it's going to update to show me what my model looks like inside of the viewport. Now if I want to intensify the light inside of the Arnold render, I can do one of 2 things or both. I could change the intensity by dragging on that to introduce more light, and in addition I can scroll down and there's a tab called Arnold for the light itself now. If I open that up and I increase the exposure, it also will add more light to my document window. So these are the basic adjustments for lights inside of the Arnold render. And if I wanted to, I could zoom in on that now. And if I was going to create a render from this, I would go to my settings, and I would choose whatever resolution I might want. I could bump this up more if I wanted text. And then in the Arnold window itself, I would go to File, Save Image, and by default, it's going to create a JPEG. Go to the desktop, and I'll save that. So if we were to take a look at that now, we can see that's exactly what we have in the render window. So it's this virtual window that gives us a exact representation of what we will have when we take our final snapshots.